sitting here between Kiama and Jamberoo. It's been raining, it's raining a little bit. It was perfectly sunny about 10 minutes ago. And the southerly rain came through from Kangaroo Valley, Fox Ground, Barren Grounds, all those wonderful, gorgeous places that are a bit isolated and difficult to get to without a car. So this is one of my favourite spots. I'm here having some lunch under the shelter that's not very sheltered. Hope I've survived. Yeah, the table got a few bits of rain on it. Anyway, I was just remembering a friend whose name was Scott. Was, I say, because he may well be in spirit right now. In fact, he probably is. But he used to say to me that quote, and I think he gave me a card of it. It says, "Some people walk in the rain, others get wet." And I actually love the rain, and I'm perfectly happy in the rain, except, I don't want to be drenched. But it reminded me of him. And Scott was a lovely man I met at uni. He was from Bathurst. He was studying business, even though he would like to have been a teacher. And that's the past perfect tense, because it's the past tense, it has ended. I have to teach my students. You try and teach someone from another language and culture, country, how to say that, and it's not easy. But if someone has died, it is the past perfect. It's all in the past, it's not continuing. So he died young, and by that stage he was about 50. I didn't find out until I opened Facebook, and it was too late to go to his funeral, sadly, because he was a lovely, happy fellow, and we got on very well. Sort of red hair, sort of Scottish, sort of pale face and a bit of freckles, but very cheerful and strong character and very positive. He would love to have been a teacher. I was studying journalism, he was studying business, a year above me. But because teachers don't get paid well, and he wanted to be a good, responsible father, he studied business and worked for Johnson & Johnson, but sadly he got some form of cancer and died. And at that stage he'd married and lived in Annandale and then moved and had children. He went to a church in, the funeral was at a church in Summerhill. So he died very young, and his children and wife couldn't enjoy him being alive, which puts everything into perspective. So I'm sitting here in the school holidays enjoying this beautiful view. I don't often post videos of me talking, but I just felt like it today, and it's quite strange. I posted some videos of the Palestine rallies in the city about a week or two ago, because I attended those rallies, a few, since last year, and the Zionists have been going crazy and trying to silence everyone. And that was my little protest. You can't silence the truth. Meanwhile, it gets a bit too much watching the horrific scenes of Gaza on our little phones, all those horrific images, just diabolical. And Trump just got shot in the air, and Biden's off his trolley, and it's all a bit mad, completely insane and depressing, actually. So we have to find a way to get away, even if it's in the rain. Rain won't kill us. Thankfully we don't have drones dropping bombs, and it's just hideous. I can't share those images of those children in such desperate situations and families. It's just beyond my imagination and comprehension that people can do that, but that's what psychopaths do. And it's a genocide. And I went to school with the sister of a human rights lawyer who's a professor at Oxford University. And I used to go to the Baha'i temple with them on the weekends sometimes when I was a teenager, drive down to Sydney. And I was really amazed to see him at the International Court of Justice, and I was like, okay, great, Danny's going to stand up against this genocide. And to my horror and absolute amazement, he was defending Israel and England, the UK, so strange things. Anyway, so I have a bunch of, I don't have a lot of followers on my YouTube. I have a bunch, like 350 I think, but I made a video of me making lamb ragu the other day, which I love in the middle of winter, with pappardelle, homemade pappardelle pasta, and I put wine in it, red wine, so I probably lost a few of my lovely Muslim followers who support Palestinians. But as I say to my friend, whose surname is a very common Palestinian name, is it haram for me to swear or to drink alcohol or things? I'm not Muslim, so even though I do believe we have the same God and the same spiritual life, as Brian Weiss says, who's a wonderful Jewish man who believes in past lives, and I've seen him 3 times in Sydney, I think, and I met him once and I said something and he said, fear, it's all about fear, we need to get rid of fear. Fear is the problem. And seeing what's happened there the last 9 months or so, since October, and for decades before that, I don't know if that can be forgiven. It's just beyond. So, meanwhile, the Zionists are trying to silence everyone. I went private on Twitter, I went private on Instagram. I have my friends and I share my thoughts and my free speech, because I don't believe in silencing people. They just find another way to express themselves, and thank God for the Jewish Council of Australia, all those beautiful human rights lawyers and wonderful people standing up for human rights and justice, supporting poor Palestinians. Ah dear, it's too much. Anyway, there's a beautiful convict, old stone fences that have been there for a long time, convict made. The brand new houses behind them. I love the Italian stone houses and stone everything, villages in Tuscany, Umbria, Torino, just gorgeous. I love Italian stone architecture and arches, and Firenze, Rome, everywhere. And Australia is extremely beautiful, but I don't know if that's quite the same as a stone house did. People prefer it, but it's not going to last as long as an Italian stone house, in my opinion. And it's not a very humble opinion. I don't have very humble opinions, sorry. Alright, it's stopped raining now. I might have a walk. See you later. Bye bye. Oh, here I am. My picture on my YouTube is 20-something years old. I have very grey hair. I don't change my picture at all. It's the same one I've had forever on all of my accounts.